The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Back on the Domino's postgame report as Carson-Newman triumphs on homecoming 24-21 over the Newberry Wolves. Adam Cavalier alongside the Eagles head man. I suppose your official title, based on who else is kind of around the booth, will go with Copper instead of Coach. Your granddaughter is watching on from the back of the booth. Always great to have family in town. Always great to have
Absolutely.
homecoming. Always better to win homecoming. Not the prettiest game in the world, but got the job done. What'd you see today, Mike Turner?
Well, I just told our kids in there that, a win is a great thing. They're hard to come by. And there was things we could have done a lot better on offense and defense in the kicking game. There's no question about it. I'm not sure that maybe we had a little hangover left over from the past weekend. I thought our kids played hard on both sides of the ball. I don't have any problem with how hard they played. We weren't as sharp execution-wise as we needed to be, but I'm grateful and we're grateful for the win, and we learned how to celebrate in that locker room to make sure we knew we appreciated it. And we're 5-2 right now, and trying to write this story, to be the right kind of story at the end of the season.
This was a Newberry team that held you largely in check on the ground. Longest rush of the day was Toot Johnson's 28-yard touchdown run. You lost your last 4 games where you hadn't produced a rush of 50 yards or longer. What did it take to grit things out today?
Well, I think it took with just, like we told them before the game, be who we are. And there were some other things we had planned on doing and we didn't get to them. We wanted to take advantage of what they were giving us, and maybe that'll help us save some things down the road there for people playing us that way. But like I said, our kids played hard. We just didn't execute from all the positions like we wanted to. And when they see the video, they'll know that. And it's this is a man's game, and that's why it's special. And it takes a man to understand, hey, I got to stand up. I got to play hard. I got to take responsibility when I don't play hard. It's not somebody else's fault. It's in a team game and a team atmosphere, and we want to celebrate together, and we want to get better together.
Probably credit Newberry a little bit, too. That's a Wolves team that is much better than what their 3 wins on the season would indicate.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody that's played them will tell you that, and their losses have been by 1 point or 2 points or a touchdown or something. So, they're a good football team. I was just proud that we got off to the start we got off to, and we moved the football and we got points on the board on the first drive. It should have been a touchdown, but we settled for a field goal. And then we got sort of stalled there in the second quarter. We had a turnover. We didn't make some plays. We had a breakdown in protection. And we had a touchdown pass down here next to the K-Sack that we didn't quite get completed. So we got some work to do, and I'm hoping these kids enjoy that win, get that behind us, and know that we got to go back to work on Monday.
Defensively, you bent but didn't break frequently. Held Newberry to field goals instead of touchdowns on a pair of drives in the second half, and turned them over. This is a Newberry team, top 10 in the country in fewest turnovers, had only thrown 3 picks all season. You double that up today. What'd you see out of your secondary, especially from Desmond Farrell?
Well, we talk about, it's what's up front that counts, and they help put a little pressure on right there in a little rush. But I think our kids were, it's when you play in that area back there, you can't get robbed by your eyes. You can't let your eyes fool you. You got to be honest with your eyes and know where your keys are and where to break. And, gosh, those kids are ball hawking now, and that's tremendous to watch them do that. And, they turned the ball over like that. The first time they did, we got a touchdown out of it. And so I'm all excited about that part of the game.
You alluded to it earlier, fast starts. You got the field goal in the first half. Equally as important, though, your start to the second half. Bernard Scott an interception, and then a short field. Antonio Wimbush goes into the end zone for his 33rd career rushing touchdown. How much of an emphasis was that?
Well, that's a big emphasis. When you're playing somebody that Newberry that you know well, they know you well, you don't want to let it, continue on, okay? You don't want it to be an even game. You want to get ahead. And the first half, I thought we were in good shape. We got bogged down. we're in there at halftime and we're talking to them, and I look on there, it's 10-7 or nothing, whatever it was, and so we come back out and we got something started there in the third quarter, and then we made some plays that, you know, we've got to get some things better on some reads and some things like that. We had a couple drops and maybe some throws, but we're going to keep hammering and we're going to keep going forward. The great thing is that's a win. You celebrate that one. Enjoy it. All right. Get better on Monday. You watch video. Come out of there and let's go to work and get ready to play Mars Hill.
Adam Cavalier alongside Mike Turner here on the Domino's Post-Game Report. A win on homecoming. You got up here pretty quick given the crowd, so kudos to you on the 40 time. Hasn't slipped a bit since 1972.
Yeah, it's still slow. It's still slow.
How fun is this to have all the alums back in town?
It's been great to have all those guys back. Yesterday afternoon they were here, and this morning, and got to go out before we started warm up and walk around some of the tents and see the guys and tell them I loved them and how special they were to Carson-Newman, and tell them they're always welcome here. And I think that's what sets Carson-Newman apart from a lot of places, buddy. They feel at home, and they've got a spirit that they put some things in. They got a legacy. They got a tradition. They want to see it continue.
Turn your attention, you alluded it to the Mars Hill Lions, the two, we'll call it deans of the SAC, Mike Turner versus Tim Clifton next week. Two coaches who have been around the block for just a little bit. You play against a rival 90 minutes away. What do you have to do to get better for this one against one of the most dynamic offenses in the SAC?
Well, no question. And Tim does a great job as a play caller. He's probably one of the best in the league in that. And they've got that receiver that's capable of doing multiple things for them out of their offense. You know, it's a 90-minute trip, but it's also how you set your schedule. You know, it's different than any away game. It's different than any home game. You got to have your schedule gauged. You got to have your plans ready to go, where you're going to stop and eat, those kind of things. So we'll get to work. We've already got that plan done. So we'll see if we can't get it ready to go Monday.
Mike Turner, pleasure as always. Congrats on the homecoming win, gritty over the Newberry Wolves.
All right, Adam, thank you very much, and appreciate all the Eagles showing up for homecoming.
That's Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Turner. Domino's Postgame Report continues in a moment. We'll speak with Desmond Farrell, Daniel Dixon Brooks after these messages on the Eagles Sports Network.